Hey, today we're going to talk about making your own gaskets for parts that you maybe off older vehicles, stuff that you can't get gaskets for. So what we're making a gasket for today is this part here. This is off a 1960s tractor, and so yeah, a bit hard to get the gasket for that. So what you're going to need: a rag, some gasket paper. You can get varying thicknesses of paper, so depending on what your need is, make sure you get that. Some scissors, a tube of what's called Prussian blue, a marking pen, and a Stanley knife. All right, so what we're going to do, just move that part there. We're just going to mark out our part with a marking pen. Just make sure that's marked correctly. And then I'm going to cut that excess off. Put the excess aside, and then just with your scissors, just cut out along your outside line. On your line.
Look at the concentration. Good job.
We're going to speed this part up, so we're not gonna,
So it'll go.
so we won't have any wording in that. Okay. Once you've cut off your initial piece here, we're going to use our Prussian blue on a rag. You don't need a whole lot, just a little dollop like that, and we're just going to rub that on the part that we want to make the actual gasket for.
So is that stuff called gasket paper? Is that?
This is called gasket paper, yes. Okay. Let's put our lid back on there. We're going to carefully place our part on top. And what I should have done, I was actually going to slide that, and that was not the right way to do that. We want it actually upside down. Hold it nice and tight, and then just rub your hand or finger around the outside here. And when we take that off, we have an imprint of the gasket that we want to cut out and all the holes. Now this hasn't come out particularly good, but that's okay. It's not really going to affect us too much. So then all the holes, and what I do is I just use my Stanley knife here and cut through, and just slowly cut, and I'll move the gasket paper around so that I can get more of a circular motion going on. And then just flip it there. So that'll be your hole. Now I'm not going to go around and show you each hole because that just slows things down for you. Then cut along your line here. if you need to. What's wrong? We've cut out all our holes. Now I did have one hole here that didn't mark up very well when I did this. It was a little bit light on. So the other way you can do that is just place your plate back over the top. Just use a marking pen or texter, and you can mark those holes out from the top if need be. It's mostly getting these shapes and sizes and things, particularly when they're very odd shapes. It's mostly getting those in the correct positions and everything, and it should mark up all your holes or your bolt holes. And so there we go. Now we have a brand new gasket. Once you're finished, just remember that even though you've cut this piece out, there's still a good chunk of gasket paper there that you can use for later on. So just make sure you keep all that and make sure you put it all away. And that's it. Pretty easy. Don't need to pay your mechanic.